Good teams become great ones when the members trust each other enough to surrender the me for the we. That was Phil Jackson when they set their record 72 wins in a single season. What do you think about that quote?
That's a good quote to start out with.
A good quote to start off with?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I happened to find it, so I was like, okay, let me use this and see. That was pretty good.
I mean, he's telling the
Surrender to me for the we.
Mm-hmm.
But see, and you see recently that Golden State just took that, so.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't.
Mentor of, Steve Kerr picking up from, Phil Jackson a little
Absolutely.
bit from his coaching style, Greg Popovich's coaching style a little bit.
Absolutely.
It's just he put them all together, and that's what you get when you have Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich on one team as coaches.
Yeah. So that's going to be kind of like the theme for today's show. It's kind of like teamwork, especially from when what we have today wrapped up for the show. But anyway, coming up on our show today, Double Take with the Watch Brothers. We're going to discuss the latest from the news world. We're going to discuss any breaking and developing news. If there is any, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we got some developing news. But also on the show, what is on your mind? We either blow off steam or we just talk. Whatever it is on our minds, sports or not. Followed by Quiz Mania question of the day, and finally, critical thinking and analysis stats. We got 60 seconds with Darren, and he helps me with analysis for the NBA and or NFL. And it's all coming up on Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. We are on our 7th episode of the show of Double Take. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Darryl Watts alongside my partner in crime, my brother, Darren Watts, in the house today. What's up, Darren?
What's happening?
You doing all right?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you?
I can't complain. I can't complain at all. Another recording day. I'm excited about it.
Always.
So, you ready to go to work?
Let's do this.
All right, let's go to work. All right. We're going to start off our show by discussing the latest headlines from the news world. I just wanted to share this real quickly for one of the headlines. Yesterday, even though it's not today, but it was yesterday, Sunday, the Broncos received their hardware.
I seen that.
Yeah, they received their rings from their Super Bowl win earlier this year.
I sure seen that.
And if you want to see a photo of the ring, you can either go to NFL.com or ESPN.com/NFL or CBSSports.com/NFL to check out the hardware. And this is a pretty nice piece of hardware.
Yeah, it's nice hardware.
It's a pretty...
I've seen a picture. Peyton Manning had his on. Both of his rings when he won one with the Colts and when he won one with the Broncos. I like the one with the Broncos more.
Oh man, the Broncos. Oh man. Whew. This one right here. Super Bowl 50s?
It was a lot better than when he won with Super Bowl 41, that's for sure.
So you gotta remember the year that was, right?
2007.
2007. They won in 2006, 2007, so they wasn't as much creative as they are now. So
I mean, there's
that's a big thing.
Well,
especially by it being the 50th anniversary of the Super Bowl, they had to spice it up.
Yeah, that's true.
They had to spice up the rings. So this is a very important piece of, very nice piece of jewelry that they got. And another headline I wanted to discuss real quick. I found this very interesting, Darren. Chandler Jones, former New England Patriots player, he is currently signed on with the Arizona Cardinals. They have a Week 1 primetime game against the New England Patriots, and he has that circle. Big red circle. He got that game circle.
That would be your chance to be primetime.
I don't know. I'm thinking it could be some vengeance in there somewhere.
What, for releasing him? Did he get released or did he decide to sign him with another team?
I don't know if this is just a hype for him. I don't know if it was some type of sort of revenge. I really didn't get a chance to read it. I just happened to see it. I would have to get deeper in depth to that. But for anybody that has that circle, they want to show out. So most of the reason is it could be because they want to show out, something didn't go right, that they couldn't agree on, of course, which is money, which is another aspect of that whole entire thing. But yeah, he has that circle, and I'm wondering what this is going to be all about, especially since he won the Super Bowl with him prior when the Patriots won the Super Bowl
in 2014.
Yes, when they faced the Seahawks. So it's going to be very interesting to see, what the deal is with that. So he can't wait, and that's going to be Week 1, and that's a primetime game.
Yeah. Who he's playing with now?
Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yes, he's playing with the Arizona Cardinals.
Because the Arizona Cardinals want Tom Brady to play Week 1.
Well, that's going to be kind of tough, especially since that the courts has Tom Brady suspended for 4 games.
So, that in mind with the NFL, here is a rumor from the Indiana Pacers Gold Swagger Report. I don't follow the Gold Swagger Report. They're on Facebook. I don't follow them, but I do have friends that follows them. According to the Gold Swagger Report, it is rumored that Paul George is going to have coffee with Kevin Durant to try to get him to convince to come to Indiana. This report came out yesterday. He wants to have Durant on the team to play with Monta Ellis and Miles Turner, and they believe that they could be a possible championship team with Kevin Durant coming to Indiana. They said that's the very low possibility that would happen, but Paul George would like to give it a shot and see what happens.
And I find it funny that since you said that Kevin Durant and James Harden hung out with each other the other day. And I found that strange too.
They want to have Paul George really wants, Kevin Durant to come. The governor of Oklahoma City wants Kevin Durant to stay. It's a lot of things that Kevin Durant has to actually sit down and consider and think about, because there's a lot of people that want him because he is eligible to win a championship.
Yes,
and after that heartbreaker, after a 3-1 lead to let Golden State come back, it could
there would be a financial blow. Well, not a financial blow, but that would be a serious blow if Kevin Durant wants to leave OKC just for that reason alone, which we will discuss about the Thunder breakdown from the Western Conference Finals. We'll discuss that later.
Right.
Also.
That and I know this came out and everybody should know about it by now. But if nobody don't know about it, Draymond Green is suspended for Game 5.
Yep.
He's been assessed
which is tonight.
Yep. He has been assessed with a
flagrant 1.
Yeah, flagrant 1, and is suspended for Game 5. Will that affect their play?
I doubt it.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, not being funny, but with Draymond Green, my problem is with him is that I believe that he was the reason why OKC was up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. He caused a lot of trouble on the court. He's caused a lot of trouble, and for you to act the way you're acting, and for them to get themselves together, this could be, in my personal opinion, a pretty easy win.
So I'm gonna take it that you do not agree with Charles Barkley when he said LeBron James deserved to get low blowed. Barkley said it. He deserved to get low blow on that one because LeBron was more upset with their play and how they've been playing. So
I have a hard time agreeing with Barkley on a lot of things, but in this case, I could probably 70% agree with him when he say that. But it goes further than that. with Draymond Green calling LeBron James the B word. Now, everybody has their different aspect of the B word. Okay. Everybody has a different aspect, and people look at that differently versus LeBron James. Apparently, back from when he was growing up with his family, stuff like that, they didn't tolerate that word, which led him on a tirade. But at the same time, for you to step over Draymond Green like the way you did, and for him to give you that low blow, yeah, that was the reason why he called you that. That was the reason why he called you that.
Look at another aspect of that. When Allen Iverson
Stepped
did it
over
to
Tyronn Lue.
how did Tyronn Lue respond to that?
He didn't. He even responded in a positive aspect. They did have a conversation with him about that too.
Mm-hmm.
And in my personal opinion, I think he took that better than what Draymond did with LeBron James.
Yeah. You have the outer edge.
Mm-hmm.
And you just officially let him get in your head when he did that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you should have, because y'all had the edge. Y'all won the game. Mm-hmm. Y'all got a 3-1 lead now. And now you just shifted momentum over to LeBron all because of how you were feeling and how he stepped over you. Forget that. Forget it. Now, if he punched you in the face after grabbing a rebound, that's a whole nother ball game. You just physically assaulted me. Exactly. Yeah, I think I'm going to assault you back or call you a name too.
Just like how, forgive me, I totally against this, but the guy named Meta World Peace, which I call Ron Artest, that's what I'm calling him. When Ron Artest was playing for the Lakers, and when James Harden was playing for the Thunder at the time, I think it was probably 2010, 2011, something like that.
A year before he probably went to...
it was probably a few years, a couple of years before he went to OKC.
And I hate to say this before you continue, I hate to say this. Not that I hate to say it. James Harden, they should have never got rid of him.
Oh, yeah.
He would be the reason why I believe they would have won a championship had he stayed with Oklahoma City.
That was a hurt. That was a hurt, because James Harden, man, that was a hurt. But
2 dead eyes on the same team?
Yeah. That would
actually 3.
Yeah. That's an issue. Yeah. Because you felt that you could have found a better, younger player.
Mm-hmm. Should have stuck with Harden.
Yeah, you should have stuck with him. But when James Harden was playing with OKC at the time and Ron Artest was playing for the Lakers, how he physically just attacked James Harden for no reason. That right there, James Harden took like a soldier. He took that like a soldier.
Because everybody
was fitting to jump him.
Mm-hmm. And everybody, that was one of the biggest debates at that time. The minute that it happened, Twitter blew up.
Mm-hmm.
The minute it happened.
Like, what did he do to you? Why are you attacking this man? What did he do to you?
A lot of people said, oh, he didn't see him. Yeah,
he right. Did. What game was y'all watching?
Yeah, really.
What game was y'all watching?
He looked dead.
Let me tell you how he celebrated. This is exactly how I explained this to Swole. This is exactly how I explained it to him.
Oh, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people you explained this to.
What game was y'all watching? Because y'all should have seen. He celebrated with his left hand. He beat his chest with his left hand and then took his right elbow and smashed it against James Harden's face.
I think it was the opposite.
You telling me you didn't see that?
It was the opposite. He was celebrating. He pounded his chest with his right hand
and used his left elbow
to hit it.
I had a reverse, but still, it was the same scenario.
Yeah, it's the same point.
Really?
Y'all,
he didn't see that?
You gotta be kidding me. How can y'all blow past something like that?
That right there, that to me was the most disrespectful play you could ever do.
Now, see, that right there, because I think one of the reasons why he didn't respond the way he was back is he was hurting so bad.
Right.
So he couldn't respond.
Exactly.
And Ron Artest is not the weakest man on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the weakest man on the planet. But to me, Draymond Green should not have got suspended.
Mm-mm.
He should not have got suspended. Because they both.
So do you think the NBA still should have assessed the flagrant one though?
Yeah, they should have assessed the flagrant one.
See, that's the problem with your theory, because he was already one technical foul or one flagrant foul away.
Oh well, considering that type of situation, I wasn't paying attention to the article.
Yeah.
If they suspended him because of that flagrant one.
Yeah, he got that flagrant one, which caused that suspension.
Okay. They did not suspend him just
because of that
action.
logo. No.
Okay, yeah, but
no,
okay. So that would be understandable. So yeah. So yeah, because of his flagrant one,
Yeah, because he was one technical foul, and I think either two flagrant foul, one flagrant foul away from a suspension. He got access that flagrant foul when the NBA reviewed it, and they had to suspend it because of that. It wasn't because of the low blow or anything like that. And they was talking about, well, what about LeBron James? I'm sorry, I'm not a LeBron James fan, but what did he do?
Responded.
Okay, he responded, but it didn't. He not anything to cause a suspension or anything.
He responded with his mouth. He responded with his mouth.
Well,
he should have. If anything, they both should have just been ejected from the game.
That's how I felt. I felt they both should have been ejected from the game because even though LeBron James didn't do anything, but at the same time, when Draymond Green charged at him with the B word, and LeBron James started going off with the mouth, that should have caused him an ejection too.
Both of them. Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting piece of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to go back to the Western Conference Finals.
We'll discuss more of our breaking news and our developing stories later on in the show too. We'll get to more of that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Trust us. But I want to go back to the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. I want to talk about that a little bit, even though that's dead in the book. So I want to talk about that a little bit. That is our rundown for the day. What did we learn from both sides of these conference finals, the Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals? Darren, I'm going to start with you. Go ahead if you have any. What did you learn from the Western Conference Finals?
From the Western Conference Finals, Oklahoma played exactly how they were supposed to play. Mm-hmm. Right up until Game 5. After Game 5, they got too comfortable. They stopped playing defense. They stopped playing like how they played Games 1 through 4. Accessing the loss, I think, Game 3 that they had. I think it was Game 3 or Game 4. Mm-hmm. 1 and 2. They stopped playing. They did not play the way they played when they won their games. Mm-hmm. Issue number 1, never do that. Because now you are putting yourself in a dangerous situation not to be able to close out the series.
And now you done really put chances into the defending champions, which you never underestimate the heart of a champion. Mm-hmm. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I cannot even begin to sit here and think, how can Oklahoma City blow that? Yeah, with one game
what I'm
win.
Disappointed about.
Y'all was one win away. And y'all just stopped playing. Y'all stopped playing.
I'm trying to figure out. Like you said there, they had this series beat.
Oh, yeah.
Did they get too comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Did they believe that they wanted to stretch the series and still beat them?
They had no reason to. They should have closed them out in 5.
I mean, no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just thinking about the possibilities. Mm-hmm. Why would you blow a series lead like that? Did y'all want to actually just stretch the series? Not to really physically embarrass them and say, oh, okay, they could win Game 5, but Game 6 we go ahead and close them out. I mean, is that the reason why y'all would do something like that? But then y'all literally just took it out of hand and let them go to Game 7? I'm sorry.
When y'all playing the defending champions, you never go and try to have no type of sympathy for them. No, you close them out the minute you have the chance. When they won Game 5, that's when they should. Was it Game 5 or Game 4? Game 4.
Game 4.
When they won Game 4, because they went up 3-1 or 2-1. I think Game 4 they went up 2-1.
No, I think it was Game 3 they went up
2-1.
Yeah, I think.
And then Game 4 was 3-1. When Game 5 came around, they should have went on and closed them out then.
They should have closed them out.
They should have closed them out. Now the better question is considering tonight's Game 5, which I think we would no. Game 5. Tonight's Game 5. Golden State needs to close them out.
Yeah, they need to go on and close them out. And this will be a better reasoning for them to close them out. Golden State's gonna be at home, right?
Oh yeah, they need to win one at home.
Yeah, they need to win one at home. Last year they won in Cleveland.
They do not need to go back to Cleveland to win another one. Mm-hmm. No, y'all need to celebrate in front of y'all home fans. Go ahead and close them out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Game 5, be done with it.
Be done with it. Because Cleveland's not going to go out without a fight. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. And this this right here is going to be an issue, especially with Draymond Green being gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My thing about the Western Conference Finals was that I felt that even though OKC was up 3-1, they had a winning formula. They did. They really had a winning formula. Now, I don't know if it was because they took advantage of Steph Curry and the whole team because of injuries and stuff like that.
I don't think that was the reason.
Well, it
They
may not
caused
be.
them. They caused them a whole lot of turnovers, but then after that, they were able to maintain it. That's how they came.
Okay, so yeah, that's
my personal opinion, folks. That's
yeah.
not.
Of course, that's. And we'll get to the stats. We'll get to the stats points of this a little bit later when we get ready to do a critical thinking and analysis. We'll go deeper into that, but. You have a 3-1 series lead. What is your mind really going through when you're actually up 3-1? Look at myself and my team. If we're up 3-1 as a player, we're up 3-1. My question would be, what are y'all thinking right now? What is it that y'all really thinking that we could be able to shut them out? Or are y'all just thinking, oh, let's just relax a little bit and, we'll just find a way to figure out how to shut them out? Well, what did y'all do the first 3 games? What did y'all do? Y'all did exactly what y'all had to do to win. Why y'all go to sleep and say, oh, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll just relax, have a little fun, and go from there. Why? Y'all had an opportunity to shut them out 4-1.
Okay.
And y'all blew it.
Per se.
And y'all blew it.
Do you think, on the Eastern Conference side, do you think that Cleveland did the same thing?
No, Toronto's just a good team. Period.
So Oklahoma
I had
City.
predicted Toronto to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose to Cleveland.
So you're saying that Oklahoma City is not the better team to be able to go up 3-1 while the Raptors was down 2-0 before they won their first game?
Oh no, I'm saying no.
Do you think Cleveland? Put it like this. Do you think Cleveland said, "Oh, you know what? We got them 2-0. We could shut them out."
They probably
perhaps in
did.
5.
I'm not ruling that out.
But they let it carry away too because Toronto couldn't handle them.
Nobody didn't even think Toronto was going up to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I didn't think they were getting past the Pacers. I thought the Pacers was gonna beat them, but the Pacers were gonna get put out the semifinals.
I said Toronto was going to sweep the Pacers, but they didn't. They took them to 7. They took them to 7, and Toronto ended up eventually winning. But I had said that Toronto was going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they was going to get swept by Cleveland. But for them to take them into 7, they was better than what everybody really anticipated, even myself. But with the Cleveland aspect of the Toronto, I was just saying that. Well, actually, with the Oklahoma City and Golden State, I was just saying it should have been no reason for Oklahoma just to blow a 3-1 series lead like that. Mm-hmm. And then with Cleveland, they probably just thought, oh, yeah, this is just going to be a simple cakewalk. That's 2 different thinkers right there. Oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. We just go ahead and take care of them in 4, and then that's it.
And that arrogant attitude cost them Game 3.
Exactly. And Game 4, because they tied the series. Mm-hmm. Because they tied the series. Mm-hmm. And then they took one in Cleveland also, which forced them to Game 7.
I thought it was Game 6. I thought it took them out of 6.
They did take them out of... No, I thought it took them out of 7.
You talking about Cleveland and Toronto?
Yeah, wasn't that 7 games?
I thought it was 6.
It might have been 6.
I think it was 6.
It might have been 6.
I think it was 6.
It might have been 6. I thought it was 7 for some odd reason.
Was
they in Cleveland or Toronto?
No, because when Cleveland won Game 6, Golden State still had to go through, I think at that time, Game 6 and Game 7.
Oh, that's sure. You're exactly right. Too much rest. I remember that.
Yep.
It was 6 games.
Yep, it was 6
Too
games.
much rest.
I
remember now. That was too much. That was too much.
And everybody was talking about, Cleveland's going to have the other edge. Wrong again. Because Cleveland had too much rest. Golden State is still playing. They're still sinking. When you ain't synced something in so long, it gets out of date. That's what Cleveland was going through.
Only good teams could get good rest and still be in sync.
Look at the Bulls in 95, 96.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only good teams do that.
Because Chicago didn't lose a beat when they had all that rest to wait for Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Utah or was it the reverse? It was Utah.
It was Utah.
In 95? No. I'm
No,
sorry.
it was Seattle.
Seattle.
It was Seattle.
When they waited for Chicago, when Chicago was waiting for
Seattle,
and I think who was it? Seattle and I don't remember if it was San Antonio that year, if it was Utah, or I don't remember who was in there.
that year.
I don't remember who was there that year, but it's on the information. I have to look at it. But whoever they was facing, they had to go in. I think in 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bulls had swept. No, they had took. Was it Orlando in 5?
No,
it was
they,
6.
No, they swept.
Oh, they swept Orlando.
They swept Orlando.
Could have sworn they took them in
Oh,
1.
no.
Oh, well, that was the Knicks.
That was the Knicks.
When they did that, they had all that rest. But considering how many years the Bulls had played together, with just little minor tweaks to the team, they were able to stay synced together as a team. Now, they played a little rough in Game 1, but they still prevailed to not only win Game 1, but also win Game 2. And I think they won Game 3. No. Who won Game 3? Was it the Bulls or was it
the finals?
Yeah. Was it the Bulls or was it Seattle? I think Seattle won
Seattle.
Game 3, but I think the Bulls took one of them games. I think it was Game 4 or Game 5.
On the road, yes, they did.
They took one of them games because Seattle never did take one for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
For a fact.
And Chicago took one from Seattle. That was, I think it was Game 4.
Mm-hmm. But that the Bulls, they could do that.
You
They
know.
could have that type
But
of
Cleveland is not the team to do that.
No, they can't do that.
They can't do that. They have to literally hit the practice gym and run scrimmages just a small scrimmage to at least get their syncing together. Because, like I said, the only team I can see to be able to do that is Golden State and
the Bulls.
The Bulls.
The 95-96 Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I really see about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you, Mr. Watts? 60 seconds.
Oh, this is my 60 seconds.
This is your 60 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can with the 60 seconds.
Yep, try to make it as quick as possible. 60 seconds.
Yeah, 60 seconds. There it did. Get the timer set. Get that set right
Yep.
now.
Can we get the timer set to 60 seconds, please?
Yep.
Yeah, this is,
60 seconds.
60 seconds.
All right. Here's
Rock
the
and roll.
information stats for the month of June. June 1st, 1994. Indiana
Yes!
Reggie Miller
Yes!
broke the NBA playoff record with 5 3-pointers in the fourth quarter of the Pacers' 93-86
Yes!
wins over the host New York Knicks in Game 5 in the Eastern Conference Final. Reggie Miller finished with a game-high 39 points, including 6 from 11 from three-point range. 5 players have tied Miller's record for 5 3-pointers in 1 quarter of a playoff game. June 4th of 95, the Orlando Magic advanced to the NBA Finals in only the 6th year of the franchise with the 105-81 win over the visiting Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Shaquille O'Neal had a game-high 25 points to lead the Magic and Dennis Scott to the NBA playoff record for a 7-game series for most three-pointers attempted with 65 and the most trays made, and that's 28. June 5th of 94, New York's led by Patrick Ewing's 24 points and 22 rebounds defeated the Indiana Pacers 94-90 at Madison Square Garden in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, sending the Knicks to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1973. And I still have one more to share, but I don't have it.
Of course.
And that is interesting stats and information for the month of June. That was
Still got more to share, so
yeah,
we'll catch up with that on the next run.
Yep.
Okay. It's time to take a break from all this a little bit here. It's time to express what's on our minds. Mr. Watts, relieve yourself, man. Let's roll with it. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I'm gonna tell you what's on my mind. It was actually one of the things I was going to talk about as a part of the breaking news, developing story type of situation, but I have to get this out now because this is irritating.
Okay.
Tyronn Lue got fined for criticizing the NBA.
Yeah,
Referees.
I've seen this.
Here's what makes me mad. He talked about LeBron James being able to go in and try to create contact. Here's my thing. As big as LeBron James is, there should be no reason why he should be playing as soft as he's playing in the paint. Stop trying to create fouls to go to the free throw line. You got Stephen Curry on you. You could just zoom right past him. And you can slam on him. You don't have time to try to create contact. Just go in there and finish.
Okay.
It made me mad because we were talking about the same thing with Roy Hibbert.
Yeah.
Why are you doing these soft layups? Dunk the ball and slam on these people. You are what? 7 foot, over 250 pounds, and you telling me you can't dunk the ball and be able to use your aggressiveness and strength? And Tyronn Lue is sitting there talking about, oh, LeBron should have got fouls. No, he should have got points in the paint.
Yeah, that's
It's what he should have got.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give LeBron James a piece of advice that he needs to learn from. Everybody going to think I'm crazy, but at the end of the day, they're going to think I'm true, too. Watch some film on Allen Iverson. He'll show you how to take it to the paint.
Oh, yeah.
He scored buckets in the paint with big men on him. Learn from him.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't scared.
No.
And if he got contact, he got contacted.
And was still able to hit.
Yeah.
Which made him one of the greatest point guards to be able to drive into the paint.
Yep. Be able to
Look at somebody like John Stockton. Could he do that? No. John Stockton couldn't do that.
See, there's a difference between those two. Allen Iverson is he drives to the basket, either contact or not. John Stockton's a dirty player.
Yeah, he's a dirty player. John Stockton don't go into the paint like that.
Nope.
He passes the ball to the big man, Karl Malone.
They do the pick and roll all the time. Pick and pop, excuse me. Pick and pop.
And he succeeded in that. He wasn't a player like Allen Iverson. Dennis Johnson was the same way.
Yeah.
Of the 80s Lakers. Magic Johnson, he did both. He was a little mixture of both. He was able to pass the ball and be able to go into the paint and finish. And get good contact off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just made me so mad because LeBron James is a forward. And all these guards are able to go in there and finish off plays and not get a whole lot of fouls go their way, but you want fouls to go his way. You got little dudes playing LeBron James, man. He could just power right through that. Absolutely. Shaq always played right through it.
Sure did.
Give me a break.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I had to get off my mind.
Yeah, that.
I've been wanting to get that off my mind because Tyronn Lue, I thought that was the most ridiculous thing. You just cost the team some money all because of an ignorant comment you made off of that. That was just ignorant. And you deserve to get fined for that one.
Yeah, that cost him out of pocket money. Right?
Yeah, that you deserved that one because there's no sense in making that type of comment.
Yeah, like I say, only good coaches make good comments like that.
Yeah. Phil Jackson could do that and get away with it, but he'll still get fined.
He'd get fined for it anyway. But at the end of the day, he's still bringing them rings.
Yeah.
He's bringing them championships.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It was something interesting that I happened to see also on NFL.com. Jim Kelly got to talking about Rex Ryan. He said that he would be looking for another job if the Bills don't make the playoffs.
That's awfully quick to be making an assumption like that.
Was this did Rex Ryan just get through with his first year with Buffalo? Yeah, you assumed that just a little bit too quickly.
That was just a little too quick.
But at the same time, he could be telling the truth because some owners just have absolutely no patience.
That's true.
They have absolutely no patience. And when it comes down to trying to get a ring, that's why most of these teams don't get it. That's why most of these teams do not get to the playoffs. Now you look at a team like the Patriots, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Cardinals, and all them.
They have patience.
They got patience. They are willing to go the extra mile to have trust in them in order to be able to make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
They're willing to do that.
Yeah.
And if you keep making changes after changes after changes, you're not getting no chemistry. You're not getting, the things that you deserve, that you feel that you need.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening with the Cowboys right now, too. They were the ones that actually was able to get to the playoffs, win Super Bowls. But now all of a sudden, you get to the playoffs, you don't win those Super Bowls, to not getting to the playoffs at all. You're struggling just to get to the playoffs. So I just feel that he might have assumed that just a little bit too early, but at the same time, he could be telling the truth. So Like I said, we will see what happens this season. But in my assumption, Rex Ryan ain't going nowhere right now.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere right now.
I think he showed his worth his first year.
Yeah, he did.
And I
What, they
think he's
finished,
on
what, 8 games last year? They
Yeah.
won 8
And
games last year?
didn't they beat New England once?
And they beat New England once, I think.
So I think that shows that he might have some potential.
Yes,
So,
and if we did make a mistake on that, please do let us know.
yeah, but I believe that's.
But I believe that is about right.
That's
So
correct.
they do. Buffalo always been the rising team for me anyway,
Mhm.
and they always get into these good starts, but then they, play around towards that second half of the season and miss the playoffs. But they just need that consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's to me. I think they could do better, and Rex Ryan will probably be the reason they will be like that.
Right.
All right. Now we can go back to the headlines that we was talking about earlier today. Was that the I forgot what it was.
It could be anything at this point because there's something I do want to bring up.
Go ahead.
It's interesting, and I never did know why this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But Magic Johnson wanted
To remove himself. To what was that? He wanted to be removed from the Lakers organization because it was causing some confusion. My question is, what confusion are y'all talking about? Are y'all talking about with him being part of the Lakers organization or him being an owner for the Dodgers? What is it that y'all talking about?
That's very true.
I mean, what is it? What is it that y'all really being confused about? Because if y'all talking about the whole owner with the Dodgers thing and him with the organization with the Lakers, let me help you out there. They're two different teams. It's a baseball team and a basketball team. What else more do you need to know?
Is it taking up too much time for y'all to the fact that he's not paying attention to
Or
the
is it taking up
Lakers?
too much time for y'all to try to figure this out?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it that y'all getting confused about? Is it the fact that NBA fans are confused about how he can dedicate his time to the Dodgers and not to the Lakers? What is it?
What is that?
What is it? I mean, I don't understand that. I am trying to figure out.
So see, Magic Johnson was the one that asked for that request.
He did. He asked for that request, so that way it could lower down on some confusion. I am going to have to go deep into that, and I'm going to have to check that out. But I'm thinking because with him being, I think it was part owner with the Dodgers, I think it was, or full owner of the Dodgers or something like that, that it could be taking up time for a wasted position in LA with the Lakers. I don't know. I just know that if y'all confused about something, I know that it's hard to try to get those type of questions out there because people are too in denial to answer those type of questions, or they don't want to get deep into detail about why this was the issue. I don't know.
Here's what spokesman John Black said.
Okay.
Irving will always be a revered and beloved member of the Lakers family, but he does not have a position or role with the organization at this time. He is not an advisor or a consultant, and his opinions, comments, and social media posts are solely his and do not represent or reflect those of the Lakers ownership or management. Hopefully this will eliminate any confusion over this issue in the future.
So, that's the thing. It's because of what Magic Johnson uses on social media. He tweets his opinions about the Dodgers and the Lakers. And so now the question it would be, why are you tweeting about the Lakers, whereas you're still tweeting about the Dodgers? Now, you got a position with the Lakers, and these tweets that you're tweeting could have been in the violation to what you're tweeting about the Lakers.
Which is the reason why he
Which could be,
removed.
He could be fined, suspended, or something like that. So
that depends on what he put out there.
I mean, it does depend what he put out there, but that's why this is what the confusion is coming in. If you're expressing how you're feeling about the Lakers and you got a spot as with the Lakers, if you got a job with the Lakers, and you're expressing how you feel about it, you could be violating
No, John Black is just saying anything that he put out there has nothing to do with the decision of himself being made to put himself out
See
as
that,
a
and
Lakers advisor.
that's the problem. As you in a position with the Lakers, you could be violating. That's why he is asking himself to remove that self from the position.
How could be he violate himself from doing something? It has. There's nothing in here that indicates that he's violating anything. He's
That's
just saying.
I'm not saying that that's what it is. What I'm saying is it could be.
I don't
That's
think
why
that's
he
what
is
it is.
asking for removal.
I think he's just asking for removal because I just think that maybe he just wants more time with his family and having two jobs with two different teams and two different
No,
sports.
I think it got something to do with social media. I really think it does.
I don't. I don't think it has absolutely to do anything with that.
I
just think that because he's just clearing the air saying whatever he tweets about the Lakers and the Dodgers do not reflect his decision based on him being removed, asked to be removed from the Lakers organization.
That's why you see people, famous people, when they're tweeting, and if they got a position with a team of some sort, that's why, or not even with a position with a team of some sort, but when they're like a reporter or something like that, that's why they have in their biography, my opinions are my own, not nobody else's. Now, when you got Magic Johnson, he's with the Lakers and the Dodgers. And what you're tweeting out there, you are representing both teams. And what you say about the Lakers may not be true. So, in order for that to happen, remove yourself from it. My opinions are mine, not the Lakers or not the Dodgers.
If that's the case, then he would ask to be removed from the Dodgers too if he's tweeting about that too.
Oh, well, shoot, evidently they should have did that a long time ago. Evidently
he
they wasn't thinking about it, and so now this is what's happening.
Okay, so is he going to remove himself from the Dodgers? From ownership?
No, because he still represents the Dodgers, and he's going to tweet represent the Dodgers, not the Lakers. That's how I feel about it.
I think he just wants more time with his family.
Oh,
I don't think it has anything to do with social media or anything like that. I really don't. Because I don't think Magic Johnson would stoop that low to go to social media with all of his problems. Because if he was really a troublemaker like that, because that's what you're making him say.
No,
right?
I'm not making him as anything. But what I'm saying is that you could be in violation with how you're representing the team. As an organization.
When you have the proof, I would like for you to share that with me and everybody else.
Follow. There's your proof. Follow.
I don't follow him. You tell me now. What is it that he tweets that really makes him could be in violation of what he's doing to represent the Lakers? I mean, to tweet about the Lakers or to tweet about the Dodgers. Because he's not doing anything to violate anything. I just believe that this man wants time with his family. Okay. I think that he has more representation as the Dodgers versus the Lakers. I don't think it has anything to do with social media.
Okay. All right. That's fine by me. Quizmania. Brought to you by nobody. Question is, what NBA player has averaged the most points per game in the NBA Finals Series? This is just basically strictly on NBA Finals Series. Who is the top player that has averaged the most points per game in the NBA Finals Series?
I may be wrong, but I got Michael Jordan.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
With 30.1. But I think that's his season.
No, that is his career. That is his career.
But I don't know what it is then.
It is 41 points. And that was in the NBA Finals 1993 against the Phoenix Suns. Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns.
Oh, the 93 Chicago Bulls.
The 93 Chicago Bulls.
When they had their three-peat.
Yeah, when it was ready to start their three-peat. Did they win one the previous year? 92?
Yeah. After that, but they had their three-peat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They beat the...
No, the Trailblazers.
No, okay. Yeah. No, this would have been the third championship right here.
They
beat the Lakers in 91, then they beat the Trailblazers in 92, and this
Phoenix.
Yeah, 93. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to go back to the Thunder and Warriors breakdown of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Of course, from the winning formula to blowing a 3-1 series lead, what caused this breakdown?
They stopped committing turnovers on Golden State side, and Golden State started playing their way.
That's exactly how to put it. Ain't got nothing
They
to do.
had-
It ain't got nothing to do with points per game. Ain't got nothing to do with individual stats. It was the turnovers.
They caused Golden State so many turnovers, and they were able to convert off of them, and they had good defensive stops, which gave them the reason why that they blew the winning formula. They threw that formula out the window and just said, "Oh, we just gone. Well, actually, got this beat.
Yeah.
Golden State ain't gonna fight. They're not gonna fight."
See, that's what happens when you underestimate the heart of a champion. When you underestimate the heart of a champion, that's when you get yourself in trouble. You get yourself in trouble. And that's what the Rockets coach, I keep forgetting his name that quick. I keep forgetting his name, but he always says, do not ever underestimate a heart of a champion. They will turn things around and get things done, and that's exactly what they did. So they just only hurt themselves doing that. So now Kevin Durant's gonna be looking for another team.
Everybody don't see that. Everybody think that he's more of. Right now, he just look like he's just undecided. To me, he just feel a little confused. Everybody wants him. I'm hoping that he stays with the Thunder. But he has proved himself. He has proved himself.
And he has. Andrew Bogut wants Kevin Durant. But the Warriors don't want him.
Do you blame him?
I don't.
You win the championship, why you need Durant? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Y'all already win the championship. Y'all get ready to earn your second if you win tonight.
Oh,
so why do you need Durant to answer this play? Well, to give him a championship, absolutely. I can understand that part. But at the same time, no. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Because you're going to mess up team chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Try to go to a team that needs a championship.
Yeah. That's willing to play like a playoff team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, of course, you got the Pacers. You have
look
the Bulls.
They already going small. Add him.
Yeah, add that big, lanky,
tarantula,
8'10" looking dude.
The only reason why Kevin Durant has so much ability is simply because his arm extension is ridiculous.
It's sickening.
It's
and
ridiculous.
Let me tell you what else is sickening. What is so sickening about this man is how he has the ability to take it to the basket, shoot mid-range jumpers, and shoot long-distance shots.
Mm-hmm.
Sickening. And he's a post player.
Mm-hmm.
Sickening.
Yeah.
He got the playoff formula. He got the championship.
Oh, he got it. You just need the Pacers. The Pacers could really use him.
Yeah, absolutely.
They really can. There's a lot of teams that can use him.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of teams.
I said Pacers, Bulls,
mm-hmm.
The Celtics. They could use him.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know how that'll work out though.
I don't think Brad Stevens won.
No, I don't.
I think Brad Stevens wants to stick to a young team to be able to
build
teach them
chemistry,
and educate them, and everything like that.
Right.
That's my personal opinion. But then again, I could be wrong.
Right.
I could be wrong.
But you know how it is. But yeah. I think Kevin Durant needs to go to an East team. They need some improvements.
They really
need some improvements.
Because not too many West teams. It don't even really matter.
They don't need all that much of an adjustments.
Most of them are pretty strongly built. Houston, maybe you can, team them up with James Harden and Dwight Howard, see what happens. But then again, they're not getting along. So what makes you think they're going to get along with Durant?
Right.
So your best option, go to the Pacers. I think Durant could lead them. In my personal opinion. Because the Oklahoma City is not working anymore. They done made it too many times to the playoffs to only get put out. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they are getting Durant enough help to be able to, stick to it.
I mean,
they would have kept James Harden. If they would have kept James Harden, they would have won the 2012 championship.
I feel the same way. And Russell Westbrook, he's got strong ability. Mm-hmm. He got serious athleticism that you're sitting up here posting triple-double after triple-double after triple-double after triple-double. What your next option could be. Maybe keep Durant. Maybe he needs some more help.
Yeah.
Because Russell Westbrook he's a phenomenal player, too.
Oh, yeah.
He just needs help.
He needs help.
Him and Durant can't do everything.
It's not enough. You need a better shooting guard. You need a better forward guard and a center. Well, they need backups is more than anything behind that, not to include a better starting shooting guard.
I think they need to redo their centers. the center and the four spot forwards. That's what I think personally.
You think they need to redo him?
Yeah, I think they need to.
What's wrong with Serge Ibaka? What's wrong with him?
He's not consistent. Serge Ibaka is not.
Only because he's injured.
Well, even if he's not hurt, I have seen good games where he has a double-double, and then the next game he'll probably have a decent amount of points, but not no double-double. He's just not, to me, consistent with the way of his playing game. Because at the end of the day, if he's hurt like he been this season, backup could have been a big key for that, and he don't have a backup. Consistent.
That's why I think they need backups, good backups, just like how Golden State got good backups. When the Splash Brothers wasn't performing, their bench came in there and just smacked them around.
And they did. They tossed them around like volleyballs.
Man, they sure did. They took one end from the net and they just start batting the ball everywhere.
Absolutely. All right. You tuned in for portions of the show. Here's what you missed. We discussed the headlines, breaking news, and developing news. We had our rundowns with which involved things that we learned from the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Then we took a break from all this and discussed what was on our minds. And we did Quiz Mania, and we discussed critical thinking and analysis. That wraps up another edition of Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. I'm Durham, and Darren's on the other side of me. Catch up with us on another episode. You can follow us on Twitter at DTST2414. Like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at the Watch Brothers. And you can also subscribe on YouTube. Of course, there's a lot of work in progress. And also subscribe to our podcast on the podcast app. And we're also working on other social media sites too. Once again, catch up with us on another episode of Double Take Sports Talk. The Watch Brothers are officially gone.